guys, and welcome back to the channel. I know you guys were expecting consistency, but I'm here with it. Been providing videos on all different topics of the Forex field, as well as stocks, commodities and cryptos. Now I've got Thuba here and running over support and resistance. Okay, how are you, Thuba? You alright?
Very well, Cal. It's good to be back. Very interesting topic that we have today. I know everyone's going to love it because we've been getting a lot of questions around what is support and resistance.
Yeah. Quite a few, in fact. And before we get started, guys, I want you guys to like, comment and subscribe. Push the notification button to get started. Do not skip this video and enjoy.
So without further ado, we're going to look at support and resistance. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to briefly define what support and resistance is. Now, if you've heard about trading or you've recently began your trading journey, I'm sure you've come across support and resistance. Now, what support and resistance is basically a price area on the actual chart where there is sellers and buyers, or you could say it's a price area on the actual chart where where supply and demand can be found. Now, the actual definition of support and resistance is just basically a price area on the charts. These areas can be drawn by yourself, which Cal in the next few minutes will draw these lines to basically illustrate. Now, you're probably wondering, what is the importance of support and resistance? Number one, the importance of support and resistance is it helps you to identify where buyers and sellers are located. And the reason why you want to know where buyers and sellers are located is because it's going to allow you to plan your trades in terms of where you want to enter, where you want to exit. It's also going to allow you to sort of plan your risk management strategy in terms of exiting the market. So, that is the basic definition from my side of things. Cal is more of the technical expert, and he's going to go through some of the basics of drawing the support and resistance.
Yeah, 100%. Thanks, Thuba. Yeah, so I decided to go on to pound JPY, of course, one of the asset pairs that I want to go for. Now, I'm going to be drawing the lines to show you guys how to actually go about it. So firstly, there's a line here, the trend line. You give that a click. And then what you do, you hold and drag. So I'm going to explain why I actually went for this one here, because I've been looking at it for a while. Hold on, bear with me 1 second. So, cool. Support lines is not just, I won't call it a line. I'll call it a zonal area. So as soon as a point reaches this brick wall, shall we say, it reverses back. You do not draw the line and start drawing it out based on one point that it touches it. You need to see at least 2 to 3 points touching on the line before executing this trend line. So as you can see here, I drew a nice line going across. It's touched it once, twice, 3 times on the charts. And the way we go about this is knowing, okay, cool. The next time it touches this support line, we need to see a bullish signal first before executing a buy position. Now,
correct.
With support is the potential time to buy, okay? Resistance is the potential time to sell. Now, I mean, when you are trading, sometimes you can literally go without drawing out the lines and knowing, oh, this is a good potential time to get in and get out. But it's always nice to start from the elementary level and actually draw out the lines. So if I was drawing a resistance level, for example, I'll see where does the pointers touch before it rejects. So I can see a point here, which is one line here. I can see another one here as well. So what I do, again, same trend line that I picked up over there. You hold, drag across, and there we have it. That's our resistance line, okay? So you can draw multiple resistance lines, and you can also draw multiple support lines. So let's say, I don't know, this trend is happening right now. Let's say so you see how it's red? Let's say it heads down, touches this support line. Remember, you're not going to buy at this point because you need to see a bullish confirmation. Let's say it breaks out, so a breakout. It breaks out. This support line that you initially have, or had, is going to turn into a resistance line, okay? So we need to draw the next support line. So potential support lines that I could see, for example, is of course down here. So guys, always remember, whenever you're drawing support lines and resistance lines, it can be drawn diagonally and horizontally. So let's say it does the breakout like we notified over there. We can understand that there will be a horizontal line that we can draw. This is called support 2, okay? So this will be S1. So if I get a paint here and type S1, oh, my am I drawing there? That's S1. Down here would of course be S2, okay? So it clearly shows it's been playing off resistance and support lines, as you can see here. And most traders will go by scalping to literally make money on the upwards trend and of course the downwards. Green candlesticks represent a bullish trend, and the same for bearish, which is a downwards trend. So Thuba, you see when you're drawing support lines and resistance lines, how many support lines and resistance lines do you tend to draw? Because me personally, I like to go for 1 to 2 ideally. The third one is a very strong confirmation, but I'm just wondering from your side, what's your take on it?
Yeah, it all differs. I mean, with the trader and how your trading style goes. I would say that's number one. Number two, I would also say just the chart that you're looking at. You know, sometimes I will have a couple lines depending on the areas of support and resistance that I can identify. Sometimes you may have 2 lines, 3 lines, depending on what you can see on the chart. What I would say is with when it comes to support and resistance is that, like you said, it's a zone. That's the most important thing to remember, that it's a zone. It's not a permanent place. It's also subjective. It also depends on each trader. For instance, the way you draw your lines of support and resistance may be different from the way I draw my lines of support and resistance, because we all see the charts differently. But the most important thing is that, like you said, Cal, is that when you're drawing your lines of support and resistance, you want to find places whereby the price tests that support or resistance at least 2 to 3 times.
Yeah, 100%. And you can kind of tell the way whether it's going to be a diagonal line that you're going to go for in terms of drawing out resistance support, or horizontal. For example, let's say it's heading upwards now, it's touched this point, went back down and reached a new high. Exactly. This is the new H, which is higher highs, and then it increased to reach another new level. So this is another higher high. And at the bottoms, we're going to draw HLs, which is higher lows. So every higher point that it reaches, we label them separately, and then from there you can understand what direction your market is going. So let's say if I was to draw this out quickly so you guys can understand a lot more better. There we go. So this is HH. Hold on. This is HL. And this is HL.
Exactly.
You see it? My drawing, I just had to quickly draw it out for you guys. And as you can understand, okay, cool. Whenever it's an upwards trend, there's higher lows and higher highs. And of course, it will be the opposite when on a downwards trend. So now the way I did it, I drew the lines. I understand that, of course, it met it a couple times on the support line. So I can say this is a very strong point. Now, remember, this is one thing I noticed from experience, is that whenever it touches it 3 times, the 4th time it heads towards the particular support line or the resistance line, it tends to break out from it. So you've got to be careful when drawing it out, because it's all good like just following a trend and just doing the support and resistance lines, but it can also break out from these points, which is so important. And I know, Thuba, you probably face this a lot with all your stock trading and industry trading. So
yeah. I mean, countless times I've been caught out on the wrong side of of a trade, entering the markets and then it breaks through. I mean, it happens to the best of us, but like Cal said, the most important thing is to be aware of is that usually when it tests 2 or 3 times and then on the 4th time it usually breaks, sometimes in the odd situation, you may find that it can even test your support 4 times.
Oh yeah.
But that happens. But always keep in mind that, your support and resistance is not an exact science. It's not, foolproof. So it's a zone that you want to be aware of.
Yeah, it's a guidance to be fair. And I feel like it's so important to understand where your support lines are, because of course everyone will have their different support lines. Imagine everyone looking at the same graph, but everyone having different support lines. You ask one person, he will say 1.3122, another one will say 1.3142. It all varies, but as long as you've got your pointers, you've got your support 1, support 2, support 3 possibly, then you are solid and you've got your formation, risk management in place, then you can actually enter it and hopefully it will turn in your direction. So I feel like these things are so important. And even going into another chart, for example, let's say we're going for, hold on, bear with me 1 second. Let's go for another currency. Let's go for Euro USD, the most volatile currency pair. Okay, we've got this one here. So let's draw lines here. So what do? Remember, you drag across and see where it's met the particular line. So this is a really good one. As you can see, it's respected it a couple times. Rose upwards, bullish run, reverse back, pull back, and it's respected the line beautifully and headed upwards. This could be a potential buy signal. So as you can see here, which is good that it's live so you can actually see it with me. So as you can see here, it's pulled back down perfectly. It touched it a couple times. 1, 2, 3 times. So as Thuba said, it can respect it 4 times. Always remember, so as it comes back up, does a reversal, you would not buy on the line. Remember, it's a zonal area, but you need to see some sort of bullish confirmation. As you can see here, we're on a 4-hour chart, so this is a solid bullish confirmation. It's head upwards. We would look at potential buys here and go long. If you were to draw the resistance lines, I mean, with this one here is a bit funny because we've got a spike up there, but I would say, let's say we had this line here. It's respected it once, twice, 3 times, broke through, to be honest, but didn't continue the trend. Okay, broke through, came back down. So this is a zonal area. So when it does reach this point here, we can look to take profit, and there we have it. So yeah, and it's straightforward. You follow it through like that.
Yeah, that's brilliant. But just looking at that chart, once you've drawn those lines of support and resistance, your life becomes a whole lot easier because you can see the direction which the market is going. Obviously, even if you hadn't drawn the lines, you'd still be able to see the direction, but it gives you some sort of idea where people are buying and where people are selling. That's the whole point of support and resistance. It's just giving you an idea of where people are entering the markets to either buy or sell. From where you've drawn the lines there, people can actually see where people started buying and where people started selling. So you can actually start to plan your trades because you've drawn those lines.
Yeah, and it's so important. Like, let's say we clear this up for a bit. Hold on. So I know I've got a lot of trend lines. This is something I would like to show you guys. So let's say we get this trend line here, and we draw one level here, and we draw another level around here, let's say. So as you can see here, so it rose, bullish movement, respected a line, came back down and broke through. Every time you see a breakthrough, okay, it's what we call an impulsive move, an impulsive bullish move. So as it breaks through, reverses back, this is what we call a pullback. So there's pullback and impulsive moves, which you need to understand in the Forex market. So as you can see here, broke through again from this resistance level. This becomes an impulsive move. So the more impulsive moves that we see on the upwards trend, the more of an indication that we're having a bullish trend. And this is where you can look at buying opportunities and so forth when it's bearish too. So you need to understand what's happening in the market and how many breakthroughs you're actually seeing to know, okay, cool, this is a potential. Now, what I tend to do like 2 or 3. Once it does break through the resistance 2-3 times, you know for yourself, this is definitely bullish. And that's what I go by on a day-to-day basis. And you probably notice right now that we didn't even use any indicators. Although indicators can be good of Ichimoku and whatnot, but always understand that you can literally trade off price action. resistance, and support. Keep it clean, because I feel like the cleaner it is, the easier it is. Trading's already messy as it is with all these candlesticks. So yeah.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I, from time to time, trade with indicators, but I've had a lot of questions, around like what indicators I use. I usually use the moving average here and there, but indicators are just confirmation of what you already see on the charts. But the main thing that I use in terms of being able to read the charts is support and resistance. It's simple price action. You're trading what you can see, and the indicators are just there to basically support what's already on the charts.
Yeah.
So like what Kel said, you can actually trade just using support and resistance, and you still be able to see, or you still be able to see where to enter the markets, where to exit the markets, when the market is going to reverse. Support and resistance tells you a lot of information, and it's something that you have to practice to get it right.
Yeah. And it's so important that once you do practice and draw out the lines, you could actually go onto the charts, look at the candlestick behaviors alone, and know where your support and resistance are. But of course, we'll leave that for a later stage once you actually practice, as Thuba said. Now, guys, if you're ever wondering how to actually go through like trading view and understanding how to draw the trend lines and whatnot, we've got a separate video for you that you can go and check out, which is so good. And if you want to see more videos on different topics around Forex, I'm here to support you as well as Thuba, so you have that option. But I want you guys to go into the comment section and show some support. Drop in some questions, inquiries that you may have in your mind. Feel free to open up, and we'll be here to support you with more videos. So guys, we're gonna wrap this up. I want you guys to show some love on this and share it. But as for now, Thuba, we're gonna call it quits, and we'll see you guys in the next video.